Okay, good morning. How's everybody doing? All right, thank you for being here because I know it's a little bit of a maze. I was a Texas history teacher for 5 years. I still don't know which colony to go to and all that stuff. So thank you for being here. I know this is the day of Tuesday night hangovers from vendors. We'll call it vendor hangovers, not alcohol-induced hangovers. But thank you for getting up early and coming to the session.
It's 10:45.
I know. I know some of you. I saw the Instagrams and the Gramming and stuff like that. So I know. I've heard some stories too. So thank you for being here. Today's about social media. I will warn you that I get a little bit excited, so I'm probably going to use this area. I won't try to dance too much since there's people up here, but I've sort of stepped off, boy band step off to know where I can go throughout the room. So, but I do want to warn you, the first row is usually, SeaWorld, the Shamu, Splash Zone, so watch out. Sometimes I get excited, I spit a little bit, so just be very, 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 very careful, okay? So, social media. Wow, raise your hand if you've been in education longer than 10 years, or 10 years or longer. So you are in the generation of when Facebook was blocked on every campus, every district said it was the devil. Fast forward to 2019, now every session is about social media and TSPRA and TSPRA. So in the span of 10 years, we've gone from devil to, it's going to save communicate. No, but social media is very, very important. And today I'm going to talk about some trends that I see. They're not necessarily going to be like, this is the best time to post on social media. It's not going to be something like that. It's going to be more about the bigger trends. And I will go down a little bit to talk a little bit about some platforms that I think are going to be up and coming in the near future. So if you haven't known, I'm sure most of you have seen, there's been a huge marketing shift. And when I say marketing, I say a lot of our jobs have switched from the communicator role to the marketer role. And what we're seeing is the customers have all the information. They have all these rating sites. They have School Digger, Rate My School, Great Schools, School, great school, all that stuff. They can go wherever they want. And they can look at your district and they can form their own opinions. So marketing has shifted. We've gone away from a society where we're pushing out the messages all the time to sort of pull in those people and make them feel comfortable about the experiences that are happening in our districts and also in our individual classrooms. So we've seen a gigantic shift. I used to play an Andy Griffith video. If you went to my TSPRA presentation last year, I played an Andy Griffith video. But back then, there was 3 channels, right? You put a commercial on Andy Griffith, the #1 show in the nation that had almost 50 million viewers back then. You put Post cereal up there, people were going to run to the store and buy Post cereal, right? That doesn't happen anymore. People hate advertising. They hate when they're pushed and, salesman mentality. So that is a thing of the past. And what are we seeing in education? When our grandparents went to school, uphill both ways, right? They skipped and whistled to school. Yeah, I get to go to my neighborhood school. They built a school in my neighborhood. I can't wait to go to my neighborhood school. Parents have choices now. It's mandatory that we start marketing our school districts and all the great things that are happening. Of course, we have private schools. I could talk really, really bad about private schools because my wife is a private school teacher. So I'm married to the enemy, one of the enemies. At-home schools, I watch television, CNBC in the morning. Yes, I'm a nerd. But they have commercials for Dallas-Fort Worth online schools advertising to these high execs, like, send your child here. Don't go to a public school. Just do it all from home. You can make sure they're safe and warm in their own home. They're doing that. And then, of course, charter schools. A lot of our public schools are having seen a lot of charter schools pop up in our area. So it's become very, very competitive. And there are so many choices out there that we are out of the range of being able just to open up a school and people come. The customer is now in control. And when I say customer, I mean parents, community members, students now play a big role of where they want to go, and then just our teachers, our staff. You have to make them happy as well. Internal communications, internal marketing. You want them to stay. You want them to spread the good things that are happening in your school district. And we all know, I think most of us know, that traditional advertising is sort of dying a slow death. People don't read the newspapers anymore. People don't read billboards anymore. What do most people do when they drive? They're on their phone. When they drive. They're looking at their phone instead of at billboards. They should be looking at the road, but they don't even do that. So are they really going to be looking up in the air and trying to catch some crazy website before they move on to their next point? I'm a zombie when I drive. I don't even remember how I got to work. I'm just so naturally trained to go to work on a certain path that I just fog everything out. So people aren't looking at billboards. And radio. There's some podcasting things at TSPRA this year talking about podcasting. People listen to podcasting. They listen to satellite radio. They're not listening to the ads on the radio station. So that's why there's been a huge, gigantic shift to social media. We're starting to use social media more and more, but now we're even being hit with the crazy algorithm, right? Dang you, Mark Zuckerberg, you got to change up everything. I know there's some Facebook people here, so I'll be a little quiet. But it's hard to even promote on social media now. 5 years ago, you could post something that there was a big event happening in your school district, and 90% of the people that followed your page saw that. Now they're saying that almost 1% see that now. 1%. Unless there's some fuel that lights the fire that's going to spread that content and get a lot of shares and a lot of comments where we're going to break that algorithm. So I will warn you, before I get started on my main topic today, I am not a time traveler. I am not someone that came from the future in a phone booth that wrote a hit song and saved the world. Does anyone know what this is? I'm only seeing what I see out there. And I will tell you that education might be slightly behind the times a little bit when it comes to marketing social media. Some districts are doing a phenomenal job, some districts are a little bit behind, but I think overall education is always a couple steps behind the trends, right? So what I'm telling you is what I'm seeing in the corporate world. I don't know if you read my blog and stuff like that, but I frequently go to places like Apple.com, Adidas, Forever 21, Urban Outfitters to see what they're doing. What are the trending colors? What are the trending content? What are they saying to their millennials and now their Gen Zs? What are they doing that's different from what education people are doing? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Some trends that I'm seeing that's going to help you in your district in the future. Because I'm really big about district branding, but I'm also big about personal branding. Because I think I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. I think that's going to be the next big step when we come to social media, about personal branding in each one of our staff.